I want to share a little bit of Succah's Torah and the Succah for the Chag. We know the Gemara in Succah tells us that if someone has Rosh Veruba V'Shulchanai, you have to have them in the Succah. If someone has his Shulchan out of the Succah, so it's Machlekes B'Sil B'Shamai, the Ma'isa were worried that maybe he will lean out into the table and he'll end up eating outside of the Succah. So you have to have the table inside the Succah. Chidah explains this to mean that the whole Vort of Succah, the whole Vort of Succos, is taking all of the physical things that we do, the eating, the drinking, the singing, the dancing, all the sudas, all the family time, and bring it into the Succah to make it from just eating and drinking into something spiritual, into a mitzvah. There's nothing that we do different on Sukkahs. Pesach, we have separate mitzvahs. We have matzah, we have maror, we have zeichet tzis mitzrayim. Sukkah, you're not yotzei unless you remember why we're sitting in the Sukkah. For the Sukkahs that the Rebbeinu Shalom built for us in the Midbar. But essentially, we're doing the same thing we do the rest of the year. We're just doing it in a Sukkah. That's what Sukkahs is. That's the mitzvah of Sukkahs. Chidah says that the Shulchan represents the Gashmias. It's the thing that holds all the food, the things that our guf needs to stay alive. The Shulchan needs to be brought into the Sukkah. You have to bring all the Gashmias into the Sukkah. If someone has his table outside of the Sukkah, there's a concern he's going to lean out into the Gashmis. The Gashmis will draw him out from the Sukkah, from the Ruchnis, from the Mitzvah. And potentially lure him away from the entire Tafkid. The whole point is to be pulling the table into the Sukkah. And that's why it would be Aser. Sfas Emes has another explanation. He says you need Rosh Veruba V'Shulchanai in the Sukkah. Sfas Emes says it's not enough just to be in the Sukkah. You have to know your Rosh has to be there too. You have to have your mind in the Sukkah. You have to realize what we're doing here. You have to appreciate that we're in the loving arms of Hashem. This murder of art. The Balatanya writes that the walls of the Sukkah, we know that the word Sukkah they teach us in elementary school, you have a samach, without the vav. It's a chaser, a chaf and a hey. Those are the walls of the Sukkah. Samach has 4 walls. Chaf has 3 walls. And you can even have just 2 walls and the little strechel, the little leg of the hay. 2 walls and a tefach. Balatanya writes that it's this is the meaning of the pasuk. B'mincha tichavkeini. Rebbeinu Shalom is going to hug us with his stronger hand, with the right hand. He says this is connected the walls of the Sukkah. He says it's connected the 3 chalakim of the yad. When I was walking home from shul, I was reading this, and I held out my hand. I was like, what are the 3 chalakim of the yad? And it's pashut really. It's 1, 2, and a tefach. The 2 walls of the Sukkah and a tefach. It's the arms of the Rebbeinu Shalom. The Sukkah is a hug. You're going into the embrace of Hashem. Shuta k'mashmoi. It's more definitely not pashut, but that's what the Sukkah is. So Sfas Emes says you need to bring your head into the Sukkah too. Make sure to learn a little in the Sukkah. Make sure to realize what you're doing here. Have kavanah. That you're not just camping out. This is the most heilige camping trip ever. And he says that you need your Roshai, the Rubai, Shulchanai. He says your Shulchan is your family, your mishpacha that sits around the table. So make sure to get them into the Sukkah too. There's a Ma'isa about one of the few heilige Yidden left on this planet. Don't have a cell phone. Can you imagine such a thing in this generation? Baruch Baxman lives in Borough Park. He doesn't have a cell phone. And he admits it's not an easy thing. People can't contact him, but he had one for a moment of time, and he realized that it interfered with his Torah, his his davening, his Torah v'avodah, and he got rid of it. It's not an easy thing to do. He said, I have to prioritize, and my avodas Hashem comes first. And he has a partner in business, or sender, who he calls every morning on the landline, and they make up where they're going to meet, and that's where they start their day together. Listen to this story. It's Moedik Hashgacha Pratis, how the Rebbeinu Shalom, we could get a little glimpse of a few of the puzzle pieces that the Rebbeinu Shalom puts together in our lives. One morning, Rav Sender calls Rav Baruch on the landline, and he says, "V'Herzach, where are we meeting today?" He says, "The corner of 42nd Street." Baruch, beautiful. 42nd Street. A few hours later, 9 a.m., Rav Sender's waiting on the corner for his partner Baruch to show up. He's not there. There must have been some miscommunication. But he couldn't contact him because he doesn't have a cell phone. He's looking around, maybe he's on a different corner. And the religious older woman runs over to him and says, "Rabbi, Rabbi." He looks like a rabbi. He's a Hasidic Yid. He said, "Yes." He said, "Can I ask you a question?" "You can ask. I don't know if I can answer it. Give it a shot." She says, it's incredible. It's incredible. One nakuda. This morning, when Rav Baruch called, it was a little different because it showed up as a cell phone. Normally, Rav Baruch calls from his landline. This morning it was a cell phone. Rav Sender asked him, "What's the shot? Did you get a cell phone?" "I'm borrowing my friend. I have a friend in shul. He's the head of the Chevra Kadisha, and I used his phone to call you. I'm not going to be home for a while, so I borrowed his phone." "Okay." I'm meeting at the corner for 42nd. Skip ahead, Rav Sender is standing there on the corner waiting for a Baruch, and this woman comes over to him. He says, "How can I help you?" She says, "My husband went off the derech a long time ago. We were never religious. He used to be religious. He went off and married me. I'm not Jewish, but we know he is. And he got involved in a number of white-collar crimes. And he got busted, and they sent him to prison. While he was in jail, he had a lot of time to think. And his inner neshama started, the spark turned into a flame. He became religious. In prison. And slowly but surely he started picking up different little things, and I was supportive. I didn't mind. I saw it was turning him into a better person. In fact, one year on Succos, he was offered leave. He was offered to come home to his family to spend Succos with us. And he turned it down. He said, "I'd rather stay in prison." I don't know why. Senator says, "Why?" She says, "In prison they have set up a sukkah, a dalar minam, and he knew that he wouldn't get that at home. And he'd rather stay in prison, the mitzvah of sukkah and the mitzvah of shaking his esrog, his adasim ha'aravas, and to go home to his family. He'd rather prison with mitzvahs than home without mitzvahs." He was really connecting with his Pintaliyid. She continues and says, "That's my husband. Recently he suffered a stroke. And he's been hospitalized for a while, and the doctors tell me that there's no hope, it's just a matter of time. And I want to know if I could pull the plug. If I could put him out of his misery. He's just going to suffer for the rest of his life, however long it may be." Senator says, "You know what, this I could actually answer you. As Jews, we value every precious moment of life. And absolutely not. We would never pull a plug on a yid." She says, "Oh, okay. What do I do? What do I do when he passes away? I'm Christian. My family is Christian. We could arrange a burial with my family. Rav Sender says, and I can answer you for that too. He's a Yid. He's even a practicing Jew from what you're describing. He should definitely get a Jewish burial. She says, okay. Faithful wife, she supported his choice in Yiddishkeit and religion, and she says, well, what am I supposed to do? And Rav Sender remembers, he says, you know what? I happen to have the phone number of the guy in charge of Jewish burials, the head of the Chevra Kadisha. The number there, Baruch called him on that morning. And he gives her the number and says, you see that the time's coming, give him a call. He'll take care of you. Who knows? Maybe B'schus, this Yid, staying in prison to be Mekayah in the mitzvahs of Succos, he was zeicha to some more time in this world. He was zeicha to a Jewish burial. Rav Sender walked around the block a few times. Turns out they hadn't miscommunicated. He met Rav Baruch a few blocks away. They're on a different corner, and he shared with him the nace that just happened. We don't always see. We can't always tell where the Rebbeinu Shalom is putting these pieces together, where the puzzle pieces are matching up. We always see is the jagged edges, and we don't see where it fits beautifully and the picture all comes together with the next jagged edge. We take the Lulav and Esrik, and we sing a hollow v'adah to Rebbeinu Shalom. We sing a full hollow. We sing a hollow about absolutely everything. David Melech wrote Tehillim during the harshest times, and Avshalom is trying to kill him. He's saying, Hoydel Hashem ki tov. Ki le'olam chasdai. David Melech was pointing out to us this tremendous neshama he was sharing with us. He says, Chevra, where do we see that Hashem is ki tov, that Hashem is the greatest of the great, and He's only doing good for us? Ki le'olam chasdai. La'olam is a lashon of helam. This whole world is all helam. It's all hidden. The greatest chasadim of Hashem are the olam chasdai. They're hidden. And we shake the lulav and esrog, we shake it in every direction. No matter what happens, no matter where it comes from, it's chasdai Hashem. Ki le'olam